Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty wild, a first-person journey into the Norwegian polar night. Imagine the sun just disappearing for months. We're going to explore what that's actually like and how it changes, well, pretty much everything. All right, let's just jump right in with this quote because it says it all. At 3:30 p.m., it's completely pitch dark. I mean, think about that. This isn't just, oh, the days are a little short. This is the day being over before it feels like it even got started. And that reality right there is the foundation for this entire experience. So let's start with the first and maybe the biggest shock to the system, just how incredibly dark it is. Just take a look at this timeline. It's the complete opposite of what most of us know, right? You're waking up at 8 a.m. and it's still dark out. Then by 2 p.m., 2 in the afternoon, the darkness is already creeping back in. Fast forward to 3:30 p.m. and bam, it's pitch black. We're talking absolute night. This isn't just about changing your schedule a bit. It completely rewrites the whole rhythm of your day-to-day life. And it's not just what you see or what you don't see. It's also what you hear. The vlogger talks about this deep, profound silence that just falls over everything. No birds chirping, nothing. It's almost eerie, like the entire world has just gone into hibernation. So, okay, what does living in constant night actually do to your head, your state of mind? Well, it's fascinating, because it seems like it can take you in one of two very different directions. Yeah, on the one hand, you can totally see how this would be just deeply depressing, super isolating. But, and this is the really interesting part, the vlogger found a completely different way to look at it. Instead of seeing the darkness as something missing, they started to see it as something present, a chance to just pause, to get a break from the nonstop noise and light of our modern world and actually rejuvenate. And this led them to this really powerful idea. They called it the feeling of nothingness. Now, that might sound negative, but think about it. In our world where your phone is buzzing every 2 seconds, this nothingness is actually kind of a luxury, right? It's like a forced timeout from the hustle and bustle, giving you the mental space to just think. And here's a great little story that shows how your brain just starts to work differently. So one night, the vlogger and a friend are walking, and they cross this really charming little bridge. Feels great, right? Then they go back the next day, in the light, and see a sign that says private bridge. And suddenly their whole feeling about it just flips. It's kind of funny, but it's such a perfect example of how our perception is totally shaped by the information we have or don't have. Okay, so that's the mental side of things. But what about the practical, physical challenges? Because it's not just the darkness you're dealing with. The weather itself throws some pretty unique curveballs at you. Yeah, there's this thing they call the winter mix, and it's pretty much what it sounds like. You get snow and rain at the same time. You can probably guess what that does to the ground. It gets tricky. Just trying to walk around becomes this whole big adventure. The rain starts melting the ice that's already there, and everything turns into this super slippery, slushy mess. The vlogger actually used the Hindi word puch-puch to describe it, which is just perfect for that messy, squelching sound, It really drives home why having the right shoes and gear isn't just a nice to have, it's absolutely essential if you don't want to end up on your back. And what's really wild is how much this can change from one place to the next. The vlogger was wading through all this slush in a town called Sarpsborg. But then, on the exact same day, they take a short drive over to Oslo, and they were totally shocked. No snow. At all. It just goes to show how specific these weather pockets can be. So you've got months of darkness, you've got this wild weather. It really makes you wonder, how do people do it? How has the culture adapted over generations to not just survive this, but to actually thrive in it? And we have to keep reminding ourselves, this isn't just a few bad weeks. We're talking 2, even 3 months where the sun is pretty much gone. That's a long time. It absolutely requires some serious ways of coping. So that's the big question, right? How do you stay sane and healthy in an environment that feels like it's designed to do the exact opposite? Well, the secret seems to be that you don't just endure it, you actively embrace it. For instance, sauna culture is a huge deal. That whole ritual of going from a super hot sauna and then plunging into freezing cold water, it's not just for show. It's believed to be amazing for relieving body pain. And people are super conscious about things like vitamin D, because of the lack of sun. The second the sun makes a rare appearance, everybody drops what they're doing and just floods outside. And life goes on. People are still out there kayaking. It's proof that you don't shut down for winter. You just adapt. So let's bring it all together. What's the ultimate lesson here? After being thrown into this quiet, dark world for the very first time, what's the big takeaway? It really all comes back to that feeling of nothingness we talked about. It's about flipping the script. Seeing the dark and the quiet not as some empty void you should be afraid of, but as a valuable space. It's this incredibly rare chance to just slow down, take a breath, and actually reflect. And really, that's the core of it. The polar night is like a natural cure for our crazy, fast-paced, always-on world. Think about it. We have to actively try to find this kind of slowdown through meditation or taking a vacation. But during a Norwegian winter, it's just built in. It's just how life is. And that really leaves us with something to chew on, doesn't it? In our world that's always screaming for more light, more noise, more speed, maybe there's some deep wisdom we're missing out on. The kind of wisdom you can only find in a long, dark, and quiet winter.